I've drawn here today on Moat Outer peg 28, which I'm quite happy with. I don't know it that well, but I wanted to be on this lake really, preferably in the 40s, but I think this is going to be okay, give me a chance. I qualified for this event at the Old Neen at March with £40, £44 of skimmers and roach, so that was a great day. And it's another great event with, with a good final and a chance for us to win a bit of money.
Good. Right, well I have drawn, what have I drawn? I've done 48 on Moat Outer, which I've never even seen this lake, but apparently it's a steady one. Do you know what I mean? I'm towards an end that I fancy, and we've got a bit of room this end. I've got usual drawback on MPEG, Kieran, but you know what I mean, it goes without saying, doesn't it? But no, I'm fairly happy with where I've drawn. I feel that maybe £30 achievable. You know what I mean? I'm going to do what I do. I'm just going to fish pellets. You know what I mean, keep it really simple. It's skimmer fishing. So for me, it's pellets. I can't compete with these bloodworm lads. So fish to me strength and see what happens. But say fingers crossed. It's very nice to be here at the Angling Trust SilverFish final, even though there's no F1s here. So I don't know what I'm going to catch. But yeah, it's been a lovely event. So hopefully it goes from strength to strength next year, and we'll be fishing for even more money. But I've got to make a rig now. I mean, we've got an hour and a half left, so best make a quick rig for it, prepped and all that. And hopefully we catch a few fish.
Right, so here today at Hallcroft, the Angling Trust SilverFish final. I qualified at Hemingray Fishery on the Warren Pool. I caught £32 of skimmers on the day, which secured a place in the final. So here today on the final, we're on peg 10 on Outer Bridge, which to be fair looks quite a good peg. There's a lot of fish here, but I'm not sure if the carp or bream, but hopefully we'll get a few. So sort of plan of attack today is going to fish in pellets long, going to feed a ground bait line sort of like 11 metres, and then cast a sort of short line at me, and later on hopefully catch one of chuck.
Go for it.
Hello you lovely lot. So SilverFish final today, proper looking forward to it. If I'd have drawn a peg like Jamie's. Unfortunately I haven't drawn a peg like Jamie's, but I'm quite happy where I am. I'm on bridge peg 20. So I got here from qualifying at Aston Park? Aston Park in it, Tom. Cheers mate. I've had £25 of lovely eyed and a goldfish. I even caught the goldfish and walked off. Instant win goldfish folks, innit? You know what I mean? So thoughts on today? I think we'll get a few fish late on and that. I don't think we'll do any good sort of overall, but you know, there's plenty of money to be won. It's great to be in this event. It's a fantastic event, and hopefully it'll continue for years to come.
Yeah, it's been a good event. There's plenty of good anglers here today, some right competition. And peg I'm not over happy with, but it'll be practice for the teams of 4 tomorrow.
Well, I'm here with the newly crowned champion, Mick Brownell. Congratulations, mate.
Cheers, Tom. Thank you.
Tell us how you did it.
Well, obviously, we are the lakes been fishing. The hot spot, we're always going to be Moat Island. Starting point to any match is drawing it right area, as you know. So I'm more than happy. When I've got it draw bag, I've pulled peg 46 out on Moat Island, which has been epicentre for skimmer fishing over the last few weeks. So I've basically gone to my peg, had a look around me. Couple of non-local lads had drawn below me, peg 40 and 43. I'd drawn peg 46. Next thing, I've seen Andy Alden pulling up. He's dropped in on peg 49. So obviously it's always going to be a tussle between me and him, I thought. There's going to be a lot of fish caught in that area. Me I know how to approach. We're going to be pellet long, soft pellet on hook, tapping micras, and ground bait and maggot line short. Wind prevailing. If it did get too bad, I'd have been able to drop down onto my short line.
Of course.
So at start at match, we've both set out doing the same thing, me and Andy. Tapping pellets, which has been the way to go at Hallcroft for quite a while. And to be fair, he's had a bit of a better start than me. My peg were really slow from off. He seemed to be catching a lot of fish, probably getting 4 fish to my 1. But sort of kept me head. I thought it's a method that I know works, what I were doing. And I know through the day there's going to be a spell when the fish will turn up, and they usually are the better fish, and it usually is in the afternoon. And as luck has it, Andy's peg sort of petered away a little bit, and mine just seemed to be getting stronger and stronger. And I think Andy hooked a carp, which is something you don't want really when it's a silver match, because as you know, carp come in your peg, they sort of bullet skimmers out of the way. So I seen him hook this carp, and then his bite sort of ebbed away a bit, and I had a really good spell, to be fair. I had a good hour and a quarter, and I was just getting one a bung, and they were stamp of fish that you want. They were like a pound and a half. And I thought to myself, well, he's had a good start on me. I'm pretty sure I've caught him up now. And I think Andy hooked another carp shortly after that. And luckily for me, I didn't get no interruptions from any carp. And then going into the last probably half an hour, I've just had another good run of fish. Andy started catching again. And it were always going to be close when scales come round. I thought he held his cards close to his chest, Andy, and he's saying, "Oh, you've done me, you've overtook me and that." But I waited for the scales to come round me. I let scales do talking, you know.
Yeah.
It's I knew it were close, and I thought, have I edged in front of him? Have I just done enough, or has he had some bigger fish in the morning, bigger than what I think?
Yeah.
So it were really, really close in end. As you know, weights 51, right, 51.8. I think Andy had 48.7.
It's a fantastic match to win and a fantastic achievement. Not just because of obviously the size of the competition, but to me, I mean, not only the calibre of angler we've got in the final, but then to draw next to Andy Alden and beat him, I mean, that's the way to do it, isn't it?
Well, that's it. I was probably fortunate in a way to have Andy at the side of me, because we spoke before the match, and I thought we're just going to be pushing each other all the way.
Yeah.
And I know how easy it is. Obviously, if I'd have had somebody who didn't know the water at either side of me, it's so easy to get complacent.
Yeah.
And you just start thinking, well, I'm doing enough. But I knew in my head, if I can be pushing Andy, I'll not be far away from winning match.
Yeah.
The two lads that drew below me on pegs 40 and 43, they'd brung some bank runners with them, And before match, I had a chat with a couple of them, and I basically told them that if the lake fished true to form in that area and the skimmers fed, I was quite confident it were going to get one between like peg 40 and 49.
Yeah.
And luckily, I were in right area and right peg, and I just stuck to my guns basically through that match. It's so easy to get sidetracked a lot of the time, especially when somebody's catching at side here, and then I'm thinking, shall I go on my short line or shall I persevere on this and it'll come good? And that's what happened. And it, as luck as it were Andy who dropped onto his short line, and I think he had one roach on it. And obviously by then I've probably had three or four skimmers on my long line, and they're the fish that make a lot of difference in these matches.
Absolutely, absolutely. Right, I want to ask you, because as it stands at the minute, you're an unsponsored angler. I suspect after we're doing this, you might be sponsored very soon, so I'm going to get in quick and ask you. I want to talk a bit about tackle and bait, really. Winning rig, what was it? What was it made up of?
My long line rig, it was a Guru Mick Wilkinson Pinger at 0.75.
Heavy float then? Heavy
float. Listen, as you know yourself, Hallcroft, it makes toll there. You can go out, I've done it in the morning, I've set a nice rig up like a 0.4 and that, and thought this will be sound today, and before you know it, there's a bit of wind picks up, and then it starts tramming through. I like to be able to, especially with soft pellet fishing, I like to be able to get my bait down and be able to hold it there, you know. So I opted for like a 0.75 float. I'd got bulk, probably 18-inch from hook, and just 2 droppers, just like a standard bulk and dropper rig. My hook length, I mean, it's funny really, because I get asked it all the time. I use ready tied hooks. I used to tie my hooks religiously. I was one of them. I used to have a buffy box full to rafters with hooks where I'd sat and tied at night after work. And then they started bringing these pre-tied hooks out, Guru especially. And I had a look at them, because obviously you are a bit dubious, aren't you?
Absolutely.
And I'm like looking, and I thought, well, I'm going to give him a go, because I looked, and to be fair, mate, I can't tie them as neat as that.
No, they're lovely, aren't they?
I mean, yeah, I don't know what these, obviously do these gizmo hook tyres and that now, but I'm old school. I've got one of the old Matchman hook tyres, and I was sat at the kitchen table with a tin of beans holding my spool of line, and you've got bad light in the house anyway. It's really hard, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? Unless you've got a proper magnifying glass and a light.
Whatever, it's more fun being in pub, isn't it? I'm on that.
Well, that's it. When you've been at work all day, mate, the last thing I want to be doing now, I mean, I do a manual job, so I'm half shattered anyway when I get home. Last thing I want to be doing is sat tying up. So I used the Guru ready tied, and I used a size 18 LWG to a 011 hook length.
Yeah.
And that were it. And like I said, prior to that, on the Silver League match before that, I'd had 37 pounder skimmers and landed 10 carp.
Yeah.
On the same setup, you know.
So you're mega confident.
Yeah.
What about shotting pattern?
I've just got like a bulk of number 8s and then just 2 number 10 droppers.
And how sort of far do you have your bulk away, would you say?
My bulks be like 18-inch from hook, and then just 2 number 10s spread out. Just fish just like 2-inch over depth.
And what elastics do you use?
On the day of the match, I'd got the Matrix, the orange Matrix.
The slick?
The slick one, yeah, on the long line. And I used the slick, that luminous green, yellow one on the short line, the lighter one on my short line fishing. And same again, I've landed carp to 15 pound on that setup. We are having to ship out as well, I must add. You know, I've hit these fish on the match running up to that final. Like I say, I've landed 10 carp. Obviously, we only get £1 a piece for them, but 3 of them were over £15. And like, if you're hooking fish on a top 2 and 3 line, and I mean, obviously it is winter, so they are still slightly dormant, but the Hallcroft fish are they fighting fit, these fish, and to be able, you've just got ultimate confidence in me. I know I can hook a carp there at this time of year and land them on that gear.
Yeah.
Unless it's foul hooked. If it's hooked in lip, I'll land them on that.
It's coming in.
And like I said, the match before, I hooked 11 carp and landed 10 of them.
Yeah.
And three of them were, like, you're talking 15-pound fish.
Yeah.
They're like beasts, you know, so...
You can't ask for more than that, can you? Okay, what about bait and feeding? I mean, obviously you mentioned micro pellets and expanders. What do you use?
Well, obviously it's fishery micros. I use the Sonobait 4mm expanders.
The dead ship ones? Or
the dead ship ones. The only thing I like to do, and obviously this will come from like fishing with Steve Clark and people like that, because they sort of mastered it and made it their own, but I sort of like to have my micros quite dry at the start of match.
Yeah.
And sort of tap them in, so you're getting just like a trickle effect.
Mm.
And what you'll find is you'll start getting indications on your float as the skimmers start coming in, feeding on these falling pellets.
Yeah.
And then I just like to get a little pot of water and then just sort of wet them up in corner as I go, and have some that are a bit more damper. And when I'm confident there's some fish in my peg, I just start thumbing them in my pot, then tap them in.
The damper ones, yeah.
So they go in a bit of a small, like, sort of bowl.
Yeah.
But not too tight. I want them just to start breaking up halfway down, and I want them fish to be on bottom.
Got you.
I don't want them really intercepting my bait. I always find it, you tend to get them better fish hard on bottom.
Yeah, that makes sense. Interesting.
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit now, Mick, about your sort of angling journey, really, because we're similar in a way, and we both sort of started off club fishing in this area.
Yeah, we did.
We didn't fish for the same club. In fact, I seem to remember our Super Cup sides clashing a few times.
Yeah, we did.
About 15 years
at
or so.
Aston Ponds, I think it were one of them, weren't it?
That was it.
On old Laycock's Pond. Yeah.
That was it. Yeah, we you obviously fished for Mosborough, and I fished for wood seats. But then, obviously, we sort of lost touch. I moved away down to Daventry with work, and obviously you were still sort of fishing in this area. And like myself, you must have took the decision at some point to obviously stop the club fishing and move up to the next level, to put it, to put it bluntly. And I saw you at Whiteacres. I saw you in the Maven Match this final, first of all, about 2 years ago now. You were in that.
Yeah, 2 years. Yeah.
And then obviously last year you were in the Barningham final. And now, this year, you've won, I'm going to say it's the most prestigious winter event in the country. So, talk to me about that transition.
Well, I think you get to a point in your fishing, like you've just said, we start off at like club level, and we also have a fishing club from local pub, as you do, back in the day. I mean, going back from being at school, early school, with like, me and my mates, we've been fishing, and we used to go all over the place. I've jumped on train and gone to Newark Dyke, we all tackle, we've done all that, you know.
Yeah.
We've had 4 of us crammed in my mum's Talbot Horizon and gone to Fosdyke, and you know what I mean. We've done it all, same as a lot of anglers used to in day. But sort of starting off, you start off at club level, and same in every club. You get 1 or 2 anglers that are a bit keener than rest and a bit more sort of turning up more prepared.
Yeah.
So we say, and I've always been like fail to prepare to fail type.
Yeah.
And then it gets to the stage with club, obviously with club match level, the same people are winning all matches. So then I sort of progressed on to open matches, mainly down at Aston, and fished there for quite a few years. With quite a lot of success, really.
Yeah.
And they're cracking anglers down there, and they are. You've got like Open, and you've got Stephen Forster and Andy Morley, and that fished there now, and Leon Hardwick.
Yeah.
Got young Joe. Yeah, you've got young Joe Cottrell. Cracking anglers, but it was just another step for me, and I just thought I'm just going to take another step up. And I had a few venues in mind, because I thought I'm going to target 1 or 2. I fish every Saturday and Sunday, and I fish all year round. I'm lucky like that. I've got a very understanding wife. She's put up with me. She's understanding, because that's all I do. I fish, mate, and that's it. But I thought, well, I'm looking at like either Lindholm or Hallcroft, and I chose Hallcroft. I thought Hallcroft's a bit more suited for me, because I do like doing a bit of feeder fishing and that, and like bomb and pellet, bomb and meat. I thought Hallcroft will be a bit more up my street. So luckily I dropped on Hallcroft, and we're fortunate enough to become friends with, like I said, Clarkey, Luke Sears, who were running it at the time, Kev Baxter, they're all cracking anglers, you know. And it's just like you just learn from them, and then you up your game. And then I started going down White Acres, and you're basically down there, you're fishing against best at best, from all over country, not just from your area. So it's sink or swim, innit? You've got to knuckle down, and
absolutely,
you've just got to try and get on their level. Otherwise, you're just going to get trounced every match, aren't you?
Well, I think you know, well, 2 major finals, 3 major finals if you count the one you've won.
Yeah.
And then the icing on the cake, winning this. I can't stress enough, really, just how prestigious I think this match win is. That final had got the best natural venue anglers in it. You know, people like Darren Bickerton, Matt Derry, Steve Hemingray, to name but a few. And then obviously commercial-wise, your Jamie Hughes, Paul Hollands, people like that. It really did attract the cream of the crop. And to win a commercial silverfish event against anglers like that, you should be really proud.
Well, it is. To be fair, with it being a silvers only match as well, I were really chuffed about it, because I think sometimes people frown on a lot of carp fishing, and if it had been like, oh, it's one match for £300 a carp, it'd be like, it must have been solid with carp, you know. But there's a lot more finesse in, especially in winter silver fishing. But obviously, in my favour, we're on my own venue. I fish Hallcroft all year round, so I were a bit fortunate. And
you've done it right, haven't you? You've targeted Aston, which was local again, and Hallcroft. So you've picked the venues close to you for a qualifier and bossed that as well. You mentioned Stephen Foster earlier. He's the man at Aston, isn't he? Now?
Well, he is, and we drew in the same section on that match, didn't we?
Yeah, and I was sat opposite you watching you both all day.
Yeah, and we had a good tussle that day, didn't we? But
superb.
I think that's what you want on some of these matches. I think you need somebody at side here, especially, who's going to push you, because I think it just keeps you on your toes, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Rather, cause you can get a bit blasé and lethargic sometimes, thinking, I'm doing enough, I'm beating him, and sometimes it's not enough. Going back to that final, obviously, just the end of the match, there were word going about that Andy Mays had 2 nets in. Yeah. And to be fair, and I thought, if he's had over £50 on there, he deserves to win the match. And I told him after, because fair play to him, he come straight up to me just before presentation, shook my hand. He's a brilliant, smashing kid, innit, Andy, like. Awesome. And I says to him, I says, mate, you haven't done awesome off there, to be fair. Because Bridge, up until then, hadn't been fishing very well, had it?
No.
And I said, to get £40 on there has been really good. And maybe looking back, probably other than me and Andy Holden being on the pegs that we were on the day, I reckon Andy May might have been walking away with that check on that day with £41. Because
good weight.
That was sort of my target, really, between £40 and £50. So yeah, he's done cracking off there, like, to be fair.
He did well. Finally, I just want to talk a little bit about the event, really. Obviously, moving into year 2, we've got a different final venue this year. Haven't decided exactly where yet, but I'm thinking somewhere in the Midlands.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Obviously, qualifiers up and down. Hallcroft will certainly have a qualifier, as will Aston Park. Are you going to be coming back to try and defend your title?
Oh, I'm going to have to, yeah, definite. This is what it's all about. I mean, everybody, years ago, I wouldn't have dreamed of going in these big matches, but it's just about progression. Progress, put time in. It's a time-consuming sport, and it is, but that's what it takes. Go in and pay your money. You're not going to get in finals of these matches sat at home, are you, watching horse racing? So
no. Have a go.
Yeah, get your tickets bought, go in, draw bag, hopefully. Draw a good peg, you qualify, you fish final. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely. And you're a very deserved champion. Mick, very well done.
Cheers, Tom. Thanks a lot.